Atomic Train was brought to you by 100% Your Electric Store.
Remember, buy an appliance at 100% and you could be a winner.
100%.
Nightline is brought to you by National Mutual, member of the global AXA Group.
Tonight, the search restarts, but all hope is gone after the Kennedy plane crash. After the assassin, a Kiwi team heads to Samoa to help hunt a politician's killer. Born into public luxury, the pay-to-stay hospital plan sparking anger.
How was your evening on a scale of, I think, 1 to 10? Well, I'd say 10 up to the point where I couldn't get my pants off, and then it dropped down to about a 0.
And a walk of shame. We tune into the TV show Stalking Dunedin's Scarfies.
This is Nightline with Carolyn Ryan.
Kia ora, good evening. A new day is just dawning in America, and so too is the reality. John F. Kennedy Jr., his wife and sister-in-law have been missing for 2 full days, and the hopes of even the most hopeful have now disappeared. The boats and planes are still searching, but their mission is a changed one. A short time ago, we got the latest from ABC correspondent Jim Sciutto.
The searchers spent 2 days scouring thousands of miles of ocean off Martha's Vineyard with the slimmest of hope of finding survivors. They've now given up that hope, turning this from a rescue operation into an investigation. The search continued through the night for the missing plane of John F. Kennedy Jr., but that search has now officially taken a new turn.
We are going to shift, and I say shift very purposefully, from our focus on search and rescue to search and recovery and supporting the NTSB in their efforts to determine the cause of this.
And with that, for the first time since Kennedy's plane was reported missing Friday night, the Coast Guard conceded there is no hope of finding him, his wife Carolyn, and her sister Lauren alive. A massive search by sonar of the seafloor off Martha's Vineyard detected a handful of objects, which officials said could turn out to be parts of the lost plane. Members of the Kennedy family spent most of the day inside the compound in Hyannisport. Robert Kennedy Jr. and Rory Kennedy did emerge at one point, but said nothing to reporters. At John Kennedy Jr.'s Manhattan apartment, a steady stream of people passed, placing flowers and lighting candles in memory of John and his wife. Some pilots say that Kennedy took a risk flying over water at night in a single-engine plane like this one. They say Kennedy might have flown into pitch blackness, what pilots call a black hole.
You get out there out of sight of land somewhere, or you can't see land because of the restricted visibility, you really don't know up from down.
Officials say the recovery operation will take weeks, but they say the investigation into the cause of this crash could take 6 months to a year. Live in Hyannisport, Massachusetts, I'm Jim Sciutto, ABC News. Now back to you.
Jim Sciutto in Hyannisport. Back here, Wanganui police have tonight launched a homicide inquiry after the death of a 14-year-old. He was found in his home by a family member around lunchtime with serious hand and leg injuries. The boy was taken to hospital but died soon after from loss of blood. Police say they'll have a better idea of what caused the injuries after a post-mortem tomorrow. The house tonight remains under guard. 2 Kiwi detectives and a firearms expert are tonight on the trail of a political assassin. They've just arrived in Western Samoa to help officers there on their biggest ever inquiry. On Friday night, the island nation's Minister of Public Works was gunned down at a rally, and the killer hasn't been found.
The police team, which will help Samoan police try and solve the assassination, on their way to Apia. There are 2 homicide detectives, an intelligence analyst, and an ESR forensic scientist and firearms expert.
The sort of thing we can work on is distance and angle, what kind of firearm was used, and if it becomes a matter of shoe prints, recording the evidence, who was there, who wasn't.
As well as finding the killer, they will investigate whether the assassination was politically or personally motivated. The minister, seen here with our Governor-General in June, was shot dead at a political rally on Saturday night. Relatives here are still coming to grips with his violent death.
It was a bit of shock, especially he got shot from, what happened in the accident, which is make us feel cold and unbelievable.
Friends also say they know of no reason why Kamu would be murdered.
It comes straight out of left field. You don't expect it, you don't understand it, it doesn't make sense.
The slain minister's funeral will take place on Friday. Jacinta Sutton, 3 News.
And the hunt for a suitcase killer could soon spread across the world. But first, English police need to work out the identity of the victim, found stuffed in a bag and left on a trolley in this car park at Heathrow Airport. They do know it's a woman in her 20s and say she'd been stabbed repeatedly. The car park where she was found is next to Heathrow's Terminal 3, where flights for New Zealand, Australia and Asia depart. Police have few clues and have begun scouring security video. Back here, an admission tonight from WINZ boss Christine Rankin over that expensive plane charter. She says she approved part of the $160,000 bill. That was how much it cost to charter an Ansett Whisperjet to fly staff to a conference at Wairaki. Rankin says she only signed off part of the expenditure after being misled by a staff member. The charter cost 2.5 times that of normal scheduled tickets. The revelations sparked outrage last week and the senior manager who arranged it was suspended. And big spending by another public service is sparking plenty of debate tonight. Our biggest maternity hospital, National WINZ, has unveiled a luxury pay-to-stay plan. Those with the cash get extras like a choice of menu and a bigger bed.
Erin Mills and little Charles are 2 of the Cornwall Suite's first guests. Erin says it's a 300% improvement on her last stay at National WINZ.
The nurses were excellent, but they were low-staffed and they were pressured and stressed. And I wasn't a priority, and I suffered because of it.
Unlike the public ward, where up to 4 women can share a room at a time, here Erin has her own room where husband Stephen can stay too.
It's something that women had indicated that they wanted the option. 7 out of 10 women said in the survey that they would like the choice, and that's what National WINZ is offering, a choice to women.
There are 4 rooms at the moment, with 4 more coming. All have en-suites, state-of-the-art bedding, TVs, videos and food at your fingertips. But the Health Funding Authority is concerned. It doesn't approve of the 2-tier system and says there's sufficient funding already for the hospital to provide a quality service without women having to pay. National WINZ says it will continue to provide free quality service to all women, and with the extra $450,000 it expects to make each year from the Cornwall Suite, it says services within the entire hospital can only improve. Hilary Barry, 3 News.
Still ahead, the men behind Genghis Blues, but when we come back, a much-awaited mission arrives in outer space. A psychology student goes before court accused of hacking up his wife. And rolling in anger, English protesters take to the country over GM foods.
The most dangerous record you'll ever see broken.
I attempt to drill into my own head.
Face to face with the human toolbox.
Didn't you have any other hobbies or a job?
Plus the tallest man to ever walk the earth.
By age 5, he was already 5 feet 4.
And the world's biggest baby.
We suspected something was wrong when he wouldn't stop growling.
You will not believe what you see.
I'm going to suck this milk up my nose and I'm going to blow it out my eye.
On Guinness World Record, 7:30 TV3 Tuesday.
McCain vegetable combos, the perfect combination for creative cuisine.
Mate, you've done it again.
Don't forget to add the sauce. Ah, McCain, you've done it again.
Magnum chocolate biscuit from Streets.
premium ice cream dipped in rich Magnum milk chocolate and biscuit pieces. Life is all about priorities.
Take a part of this, take a packet of that, take a packet of that, take a papadum or two, take a papadum or two. Here's a vindaloo for you, here's a vindaloo for you. You may be mad about our madras, tandoori, come a bolty ticket too. What you think about that?
Thanks, Patex.
Hey, take a pat on the back. Oh, thanks, Patex. Thanks, Patex.
Buy a $3 Starbear from any warehouse store or ASB Bank branch. You'll be supporting New Zealand's Starship Children's Hospital to care for sick children from around New Zealand. Starbears, now from the warehouse or any ASB Bank branch.
Hi, it's John here and Nathan from Channel Z. Yeah, look, we've got a whole bunch of new CDs, we've got a whole studio full of things, and we're beginning to broadcast in Christchurch on 99.3. We've got a slogan, Nathan? Yeah, come on down and check out our prices. Ahua.
The real reason Ginger quit the Spice Girls.
I had no choice.
We go in-depth and up close.
I was the biggest wannabe out of everybody.
See Jerry as you've never seen her before. Jerry Halliwell, Look at Me, 8:30 TV3 Tuesday.
You're back with Nightline. A psychology student's gone on trial in Auckland, accused of murdering and dismembering his wife. John Federici is alleged to have driven for days looking for somewhere to dump her body, their son along for the ride.
Federici maintained he was not guilty of murder when his trial got underway today. In the Crown's opening address, the jury was told there was a history of violence in the couple's relationship, which worsened after he suspected she'd told police he was growing marijuana. Samoa said on the night she was killed, there was a violent argument.
He strangled her in the bedroom of the house that she had moved into only a few weeks before. And in the bedroom, 2 levels up from the floor, and the bedrooms where her 2 infant children slept.
The Crown says Federici tried to dismember his wife's body before putting it in a wheelie bin. It's alleged he hired this rental van using one of her credit cards and loaded it with her body and items from her house.
You'll hear that he took a great deal of trouble to hide, to obscure and to remove the incriminating evidence of the crime that he had just committed.
Moore says over the next 3 days, Federici drove 2,300 kilometres from north of Auckland to the Coromandel, central North Island and back to Auckland, looking for places to dump Jennifer Federici's body and other belongings. Federici also took his 3-year-old son, Jordan, with him. Federici, an Australian citizen, was arrested trying to leave Auckland Airport for Brisbane. The Crown says it has a police video in which Federici admits his wife is dead. In it, he's alleged to ask police whether the dead woman's family must see her body if he tells where it is. More than 100 witnesses, including Jennifer Federici's mother and sister, are expected to be called to give evidence at this trial, which is expected to last up to 3 weeks. Gideon Porter, 3 News.
A reprieve tonight for Russia's rickety space station Mir. A ship has finally arrived with food, fuel, oxygen and computer equipment. The docking early today was just in time. Space officials had warned last week that if the supplies didn't arrive within days, Mir could have plummeted to Earth. The supply ship takeoff was delayed until late Friday because of a dispute with Kazakhstan over use of its launch site. The debate over GM food gathered momentum in England today. More than 500 people turned out to protest at a government-run farm growing oilseed. It's one of 6 such farm trials in the UK. Despite police warnings, demonstrators did what they could to damage the produce. Angry confrontations followed and 3 people were arrested for causing criminal damage. To sport now, and an invasion of warrior princesses. 20 of them spent the weekend attacking one another in a competition called Combat 2000. As the name suggests, it's not for the faint-hearted fan.
It's rough, full contact, and a bit bizarre. The so-called Tournament of the Millennium was fought last night. Lady 5000 is the big cheese. Her underlings have names like Violet Vendetta and Bratface. Most are not on good terms.
Lady 5000 is impervious to many of the warriors she has invited this evening. However, in me, she has her Achilles heel.
You see, ISIS killed Lady 5000 around about 300 years ago. Back in the real world, the competitors are students, businesswomen and mothers, and they're all hooked on sport fighting.
Women are seeing it as a great way to release all that energy, stress. It's something new, something different, and it's a really good motivation tool.
They say traditional gyms hack away at a girl's confidence and self-esteem, but sport fighting has the opposite effect. It's a mix of martial arts, boxing and wrestling. The costumes and characters are the fun part.
I would have won that fight if it wasn't for the Queen's Guards distracting me with my sword. That little cheerleader managed to get that drop kick in on me.
The fights draw a crowd of all ages, and once the first-timers are over the initial shock, most realise it's all in the name of good fun. Tanya Page, 3 News.
Don't run off too far, because after the break we tune into Dunedin's Walk of Shame and get a taste of Genghis Blues.
It's a bucket of laughs.
There's a little bucket arriving, in case it's Camp Lady. Just hold it there, please. Are you ready? Good luck! What did Sarah... Camp Lady, stop this, please.
Mr. and Mrs. 8 o'clock TV3 Wednesday.
I'm not getting enough.
I need something more powerful.
I'd love mine to be stronger.
Are you getting the hit you need? You've got to try this. Airwaves, the amazing vapor release gum from Wrigley's. It tastes great and it bursts with fast-acting menthol and eucalyptus vapors that help your nose feel clear. Those long-lasting vapors go on and on. Sugar-free Airwaves. The vapor hits you fast and lasts.
A crunchy chicken coating. A crunchy...
There's a better way to get your mouth around KFC's new Twister, the Twister Combo. That's the Colonel's new Twister with chips and a Pepsi for just $5.95.
Taste the tea and Twister like...
I'm 29 years old and I'm starting to feel more my age. There's more of a spring to my step. I think after I lost the first 10 kilos, I started feeling positive, and someone made a comment, your jacket's starting to get too loose, and it was really encouraging, and it just made me feel great. When I see my kids doing their sports, you can see the energy, and I know what it's like. I get the same sort of high when I'm working out now. Yeah. The reality of losing weight is it's a mission. You've got to take it seriously. But it gets easier and easier, and I definitely feel lighter. I've lost 38.5 kilo. From the previous ad, people do notice. Great. It feels great.
The Xenical Weight Management Program is now helping over 30,000 New Zealanders to lose weight and gain a better life. Call 0800 49 36 42 for more information and talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
100% pure coffee beans and nothing but coffee beans create the rich, full taste of Nescafe Classic. Great taste every time.
The cane and vegetable combos, the perfect combination for creative cuisine.
Mate, you've done it again.
Don't forget to add the sauce. McCain, you've done it again.
He is both friend and sexual predator of the innocent.
Child molester. The lowest form of crime any man could do.
Nobody knew, so I couldn't have been stopped. Sex offenders are moving into the community, and the neighbours may never know.
We all had a right to know.
There's every chance they'll re-offend.
There's a time bomb waiting to happen.
So the day Peter Liddell moved next door...
You can't say sorry because it's not enough.
...was every parent's nightmare. TV3, Wednesday.
Welcome back. The men who joined a blind bluesman singing in Mongolia are a few minutes away. But first, the TV show that's sparking a lot of interest and a fair bit of embarrassment in Dunedin. It's on a program called Cow on the city's local Channel 9, and it involves chasing varsity students as they emerge from foreign flats to scamper home.
On the prowl in Scarfyville, early on a wintry Sunday morning, most students are still tucked up in bed. These men on a mission to catch those who aren't, those who never made it to their own bed, those doing the walk of shame.
How was your evening on a scale of,
You know, 1 to 10.
Well, I'd say 10 up to the point where I couldn't get my pants off, and then it dropped down to about a 0.
Scarfie's candid about their sex lives.
It was damn good.
Was he?
Yeah.
Out of 10?
I'd have to say definitely up towards 7 or 8.
She picked me up, actually.
Did she?
Yeah, mate.
Oh, you're a stud.
And she actually, she gave me a ride as well, so we didn't have to walk either.
2 kinds of rides?
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, not everyone happy to face the camera.
Runners, I think, are our favourite.
Yeah, I think the runners.
It's
the chase.
personally satisfying chasing someone along the camera.
It's the adrenaline of the chase.
Yeah, exactly. The hunt and the kill when you finally get them.
Yeah.
Because they know they're caught and they give up. And
they give up and then they just blew everything out.
Pillow talk less revealing.
You can tell us.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. A likely story.
It goes to air on Dunedin's Channel 9 on a program for Scarfies called Cow. Capturing the essence of student life minus the study.
We pretty much discovered that everyone had a fairly sick sense of humour and the more disgusting...
Well, similar to ours, really.
Yeah.
So it fitted quite nicely.
Well, the rule of thumb is if we laugh at it, then everyone else will find it funny.
Well, yeah.
Well, we hope.
It's attracting a cult following.
That's pretty funny, eh? But I'm not going to get caught out.
My goal is to be on the Walk of Shame this semester.
No one's safe.
This isn't your room?
Not even presenter Marcus Sontag, busted earlier in the year.
This is a pretty bizarre thing to be doing on a Sunday morning. I mean, it's a little bit sick.
A little bit, yeah.
I suppose. Definition of sick.
Yeah, rightio.
So, you have a good night last night?
Oh, yeah, have a good night last night. Oh, yes.
Well, we're therapy at the end of the day, aren't we?
We are. You know, I mean, they've had a shock. They've woken up the next morning. They've realised they've had an absolute Barry Crocker. And we're just there to, you know, a bit of counselling.
Just who needs the counselling's debatable. But for these guys, the Walk of Shame could be a step on the road to fame. Michael Turner, 3 News.
Now to another strange piece of film proving a big hit at the Auckland Festival. It's a documentary about a blind American blues guitarist's journey to Tuva near Siberia. It was shot on high 8, made on a shoestring, and took away the Audience Award at Sundance.
You get a lot of whistles and howls and all sorts of weird stuff on shortwave that you can't identify. There was this whistling that was melodic somehow.
One voice, several notes. That's throat singing, a skill and sound that led to a 4-year-long project called Genghis Blues. Rocco and Brian Ballack were filmmakers at 5, trying to remake Star Wars with a home video, until fate led them to documentaries.
Actually, the TV broke and the knob fell off one time, and we were about 10 years old at the time. And our mom fixed the channel to PBS. And so for a few years, we watched PBS only until we figured out how to change the channel. But by that point, we loved documentaries.
This is what it takes to be a movie star, man. I don't want no part of it.
It's a nice horse, man. It's a small horse, and it's real gentle, super gentle horse.
This is going to have to be a short ride, or I ain't going to take no guts back to America. You understand that?
Once you get up there, you'll be fine.
Ready? Most people think, you know, Tuva or blues is something very anthropological, but the story's really actually very human. And that's really been a great joy.
It was after college they started making this film. Genghis Blues is based on a place they'd only ever heard about once, from watching a documentary in high school.
So we called the guy who had seen in the documentary, and we said, hey, we just got out of school, we're free, we want to go make a movie in Tuva, but there's no information about it.
So you started with the place first, rather than the topic and the story.
Exactly. But we knew that if we went to Tuva, we knew we were going to find something good.
The documentary story was also chased for a while by the BBC, but they pulled out of doing it, leaving the brothers far from blue.
We've won some awards over the past year, and one of the first things we always say is, you know, thank you to the BBC for passing.
The film, which took a whole lot of passion and not much money to make, even has its own soundtrack and website.
I realized that the key ingredient in terms of qualifying somebody to make a film like this is just their desire to do it and somebody's ambition and tenacity.
And this doco about a blind bluesman in Tuva proves not only that truth is stranger than fiction, but that it's sometimes also a better story. Bernadine Lim, 3 News.
Just a few minutes for you to practice, then we'll return with the weather blues for your Tuesday.
Would you risk everything for a stranger?
If you want to make this decision, fine, but I will not in any way financially support it.
Meet Felicity.
I came to New York because of you.
She's following her heart.
Ben Covington. Ben is uncomfortable. Ben.
Only to find
You're acting crazy. All I did was be nice to you.
that the end is just the beginning.
Ben will look back on college and remember Felicity Porter as that obsessive girl with frizzy hair.
The drama of 99, Felicity, TV3 Thursday.
I'm the almost builder.
And this is ITM.
When it comes to building, we've really got it made. Because the folk who own and run the store really know their trade, eh?
ITM. Where we at, bro?
Where it's at, aim higher. Where it's at, education. Where it's at, motivate yourself. Life. Everybody's got a chance. It's a must that you make a career advance. The right information about the right education. There really is no limit to how far you can go. With the right information about the right education. There really is no limit to how far you can go. Educate each one, teach one, education, knowledge and wisdom. Educate each one, teach one, education, knowledge and wisdom. Where it's at, aim higher. Where it's at, think bigger. Where it's at.
For your free magazine, call 0800 for Where It's At.
Motivate yourself.
Thanks. Take a pat on the back. Take a pat on the back.
Thanks, Pavex.
Hey, what you think about that? Take a pat on the back.
Thanks, Pavex.
Meet Stephen. He's on the road all day. It's his job. Unlike his new lady, Rebecca, she just likes adventure. Off-road, of course. Stephen's big sister, Vivian, is crazy about kids. Oh, and large animals. And kid brother, Damien, well, Damien's got a lot to learn, especially about relationships. Get out of the ordinary. Drive Suzuki.
We're back and it's time to check out Nightline's funky forecast. There was lots of high cloud over the mainland today while the rain eased to just patchy falls. Showers were the order of the day too in western and central areas of the North Island, but westerlies kept the temperatures mild. Checking out Tuesday now, and by noon the low will have meandered eastwards, allowing another round of unsettled weather. So think more of the same for the south and sun showers for most of the north.
In terra longe tem Mariceu. Na Mariceu tem Jabrava minha terra, terra minha cresceu. Como pouquinho amigo, mas escartinha. Oh, da levar para minha cresceu. Oh, cigala, o teu frango. Se senti saudade não tem dor de paixão, de amor de vai Cabo Verde. Como pouquinho amigo quando é cardinha. Oh, o talebal panha cresceu. Oh, cigala, o teu frango. Se senti saudade não tem dor de paixão, de amor de vai Cabo Verde.
And that's it from us for Monday. The 3 News team will be along tomorrow night at 6 and we'll catch you back again at 10:30. Until then, do enjoy your Tuesday. I'm Carolyn Ryan. Good night.
Nightline was brought to you by National Mutual.
member of the global AXA group.
Looking out from this silent place, a ray of light to darkest space, a warm wind blowing gently across your face. So lift up your eyes slowly to the sky and dream about a place where we could be. 'Cause I can see you standing